you touched on it a little bit earlier. How hard was it to break into that fashion world? Because I remember going to fashion shows and saying to myself, I'm never going back, right? Like, I remember I just went back there and they had me on the runway, and I just related this to like, this is how all fashion is. And everybody was getting undressed in front of each other. I was like, oh, this ain't for me. This is not for me. But I credited that to the fashion world, right? And people say how hard it is to break through. Like, remember how Kanye and Sway? So how hard was it for y'all to get in that world?
For me, it was hard work. Don't get me wrong. It was a heavy lift, but we were doing something that's so natural to us that we were going against the normal the progress of a fashion house. So whatever we did came natural. Like you said, you wouldn't walk a runway that made you uncomfortable. We didn't do shit that made us uncomfortable. We did shit that was real to us, wherever it was. So in that form, it was easy because we were doing what came natural to us. But obviously, all the late nights, the early mornings, all that shit was hard. But the actual building of the brand, that was in our DNA.
But I'm assuming you guys didn't try to break in the traditional fashion.
Exactly.
You guys were doing the workaround, knowing the audience you were going to.
We broke the system because they didn't actually allow us in department stores. They literally told one of us that four of us on the hang tag. They said if we don't want people coming in that look like that who steal clothes or getting in the shootouts. So they wouldn't put us in there. But the reality is, if I was on a Nori set or Keith was on a Nori set, they're kicking everybody off the set. But if we had a way to, like, yo, nah, we dressing the artists over here. We wasn't dressing no artists. We just wanted to be on the set. So we make a shirt. Well, now we get to holler at the girls on the set. We get to eat the free food, the crap. I get to see an artist like Nori perform. So what we was doing, we was spending night and day on sets. If you really look at the first set was Miss Jones, Where I Want to Be, and then it was Ice Cream. You'll see You'll see Method in the truck going, "Ice Cream Man, come on a FUBU hat." Then you'll see Biggie, One More Chance. I'm in the background with a little hat, just always trying to place the hat in it because I just wanted to be on the set to watch artists. I just didn't want to get kicked off, and everybody else was like, "I'm doing this, I'm doing that." No, you won't get out of here. No, you won't get out of here. I think that was the first way we started. So people started demanding it. They didn't go to these are cats who, like, I was a van driver in Rockaway. I know cats in Rockaway that never been to the city. Forget any place else in the country. So we now go to a specialty store in Rockaway and we start selling to the specialty store, the mom and pops, the everyday store. We didn't go to the department store. So it was really almost like we were putting on sets what we love and then giving it kind of like to the cats we know just in the hood.
And you said something earlier about not knowing how the work you're doing, that's getting out there, that you're not getting like the instant likes and all that shit. We were putting in that work as far as product placement goes when product placement wasn't really a thing. So we didn't realize that as kids in Atlanta, Alabama, Cincinnati, Japan, seeing our stuff on video sets until we went out and actually go to the trade show. And these retailers told us, there's kids in my town in Michigan asking for your shit because so-and-so is wearing it. Right. But we didn't get to feel that momentum until we started talking to retailers.
But if you knew the stores, it's a hood thing. And I'm not saying this because everybody here has to be hood. Everybody here knows this stuff. If you knew the stores you want to select, you know where we're going to go in Manhattan? We're going to put that stuff in the stores on 145. Why? Because everybody moving weight all the way up and down the Eastern Seaboard is going to that area to go and do whatever they do. And then they're going to stop off at 145 and go shopping. Then they're going to take clothes down the Eastern Seaboard. Right? So it's just if we're thinking about advertising.
Right, those stores were the influencers of the time. They were the tastemakers.
If you think about advertising, they charging $10,000. They charging $10,000 for 30 seconds on MTV. They charging $500 on BT. Wow. Why? Because the amount of people that watch. No, ain't nobody in the hood filling out no Nielsen rating. Right. And everybody that watching BET and the projects got 10 other people watching it. For $500, we're getting the same amount of value that would be $10,000 on MTV. It's just common sense about knowing who you're messing with.
And who your market is, right?
So let me ask you this. At one point, right, we see FUBU product was in rap videos all day, right? But then at one time, labels start requesting that you block out the label. You block out.
That was early
you
on,
saw
though.
that.
That was early on.
So that wasn't.
That was what MTV was doing that.
MTV was doing
They
that.
didn't know what the FB was, but it was in all these videos, and then you just started seeing it blurred
Oh, I
out.
can see how they
You know what I'm saying?
F you. Like, I can see that now. I didn't even peep that then.
You know what it is? And
But you know what we did? Remember what we did?
what's that?
Your man got one on right there. What happened was
right,
it was
right,
97 they started doing that. We realized, though, that they wouldn't block out jersey numbers. So before...
We own 05, right?
So before 05 ever existed, the year 05, we had always wanted FUBU to be 5 of us. We created the number 05 to be synonymous with FUBU. So we're the only ones in clothing that ever owned the number, trademarked the number from 97 up to 05, and then they could never blur it because now you would have to be blurring 23, 48.
Right.
So that's how we started to place the stuff in the end. So it was us, and I think BMW owns 323. I think there's very few that own actual numbers.
Yeah, it was a lot of
Corporate
guerrilla
America
marketing shit we did though. Like, you know, we didn't do the basic route. We learned a lot from our mistakes and what we did, and you know, we just grew from there. You know what I'm saying? But we always kept it like everything that we wanted to do is what we did with our brand. You know what I'm saying? We didn't have to go this route because so-and-so was doing that. We didn't have to go that route because so-and-so was doing that. You know what I'm saying? We
And look at the labels at the time.
We stayed in
you
our
remember
path.
when up here in Collins, the street teams.
Yep.
We had street teams as a fashion house.
Wow.
That was unheard of back then.
Wow.
We kind of ran a lot of our marketing and promotion. the same
Guerrilla
way a
marketing.
label would.
Yep.
A lot of guerrilla marketing, a lot of interface with our consumers, and that just spread like wildfire, man.
Was it? Because once people find out that the name means for us, by us, some people would take it as hip hop, or some people could take it as black people.
Right.
Did that ever like have a backslashing? Like if you try to get in department stores and like we don't cover black clothing.
Yeah,
I think it affected us more on the consumer side,
Right.
Because in a way we are black men with a black owned company, but for us, bias to us at that time was more than just it wasn't a race thing. It's more of a hip hop cultural thing. Because we from New York. We got Dominican friends.
Yeah.
We got Cuban friends. We got white friends.
We dressed MC Serge.
And
Beastie Boys are just as wild as anybody else.
So when it came to hip hop, it wasn't a color thing. So our thing for us bias was like more of a cultural thing for the hip hop community, by the hip hop community.
But
now, obviously, being black owned, being black men, black owned company, we couldn't ignore that fact because a lot of people were saying, "Yo, don't wear our shit." And we knew that that's something that we wanted to address in our clothing.
But also to keep it 100, though, I mean, you hear somebody who it has so much pride and go, man, you finally made something for us. It's hard at that moment to go, yeah, it's true, and it is powered by an African-American culture that came out of the Bronx, and we are represented, but you gotta allow everybody to touch this because I think hip-hop and country are always gonna be the most powerful music ever because it's the voice of the have-nots, but you can't exclude somebody from our beautiful life or our struggles. Don't think like that. You can't say that to somebody at that time who just like, with so much pride. You know what I mean? You're just like, all right, cool.
Right. Because you know, it's a saying. Like whenever somebody's doing something good, they say, "Oh, we the FUBU of this shit."
Right.
Yeah.
We've said it here.
We said it. I take pride when somebody says that. And you know what's the crazy shit about it is? I immediately know what they're saying when someone says, "Oh, we the FUBU of this shit."
Right.
And I say either they mean, the team, or we in control of our own shit.
Right,
Like
by the culture, for the culture.
It's both of those things.
Yeah, it's both of those
But
things.
the reality of it is, it was never black. It was black owned, but never black only.
Yeah, black only.
We never thought of it as because first of all, it's bad business to say you can't buy my shit.
Right.
This is bad business.
And we created it because we felt that Timbaland at the time said that about us.
Right.
You can't buy our
That was
shit.
energy.
That was the energy. Remember when they wrote that
remember
campaign?
Timbaland,
We don't sell our boots to drug dealers.
Yeah.
And we were buying 3 pair of Timbaland a year when a construction worker was buying 1 pair a year. And so we would be guilty of that. We would become the same thing we're fighting against if we decided to be that ignorant.
Right.